Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please write your attendance, everybody, in the chat box so that I can mark your attendance. Okay, so let's begin. Yesterday we discussed the various sources of ideas from which we can get a business idea. Okay, basically we discussed about the inspirations or people we can discuss with, agencies we can contact in order to get a business opportunity or idea. Okay, under the topic search for a business idea, once we have got the best and suitable source of business idea, we try to find various ideas, and then out of the ideas available we try to select the best alternative. Okay, so the next step is idea processing and selection. Okay, because good business ideas must be capable of being converted into feasible projects. Now, feasibility, the word feasible is very important here. Feasible basically refers to when we say something is feasible, we mean to say that it is actually doable. Okay, doable means, for example, I decide to start a business of producing time machines. Is it a feasible project? Is it doable with the current available technology? Will I ever be able to create a time machine? Yes or no? Tell me. Everybody knows what a time machine is, right? Yes, we will never be able to create a time machine because with the available technology and resources, if we could build a time machine, we would have already built it. Okay, so it is not possible currently to build a time machine unless and until we are in a Marvel's movie. Okay, so when I talk about doing a feasible project is something which is doable and practically possible with the current available resources and technology. Okay, so good business ideas must be capable of being converted into feasible projects. Okay, once these ideas are discovered, screening and testing of these ideas is done. Okay, so as I said, once we have collected the ideas, the various type of ideas that we can do or convert into business, we then test those ideas, that which one is the best alternative. The following considerations are significant in the evaluation of business ideas. Okay, so what all we need to consider while selecting the idea, we'll discuss about those points. Okay, now when I told you about feasibility can be of various categories, okay, or various types. First of all, feasibility has to be technical feasibility. Okay, technical feasibility means is it possible to do or perform or make technically, or is it technically possible to produce that product or service? So technical feasibility refers to the available technology, and is it possible, is it practically possible to do or produce the product that we have selected with the current available technology. Okay, next is commercial viability. we can also call this commercial feasibility or financial feasibility. Okay, what we mean by commercial viability is that okay, we can say that yes, technically it is possible to produce a product that we have selected, but is it commercially feasible? Commercially feasible means, is it financially beneficial for us to produce this product? For example, I manufacture a phone, a cell phone made up of pure 24 karat gold. Okay? It is technically feasible to produce a cell phone made up of 24 karat gold. There may be a little bit of difficulty because 24 karat gold is very soft, okay, and it bends easily. So we can take 22 karat gold, okay. So technically it is possible to produce this product, but will it be profitable for us to sell that cell phone, or will anybody be able to buy that phone? So commercially, commercial viability means, does the product that we have selected have the ability to earn the required amount of money that it should earn once it is produced? Okay, is it a profitable venture? Is it profitable to produce this product? That is what commercial viability means. Does everybody understand these 2 points? Okay, so compatible with third point is compatible with the promoter. Now, promotion or marketing of the product is also a very crucial point. Okay, the product that we are producing should be commercially or should be promotable. Okay, for example, in India, it is the government has a rule against marketing of liquor. Okay, you will never see an ad for liquor in public, either on TV, on radio, or on hoardings. Okay, you will, but companies have found out other ways to promote their brands by, for example, Wills is a company that produces cigarettes. Okay, now they cannot sell cigarettes in public, but they can promote their company's name with association with another product. For example, Wills now, whenever you see an ad of Wills, they will always be concerned with Wills Lifestyle. Wills Lifestyle is basically an apparel brand. Okay, so Wills has found out a way around the rule or the regulation that government has put against promotion or public marketing of these tobacco products or liquor. Okay, so the product that we are producing should be compatible with the promoter. That is what I mean. Okay, compatible with government regulations. So it should not be illegal to sell that product in our country. Okay, there are various regulations that have been put on production of various products. For example, if we take the example of let's say crackers. Okay, crackers cannot be produced and sold as freely as a packet of biscuit. Okay, why? Because there is a potential threat associated with it. Okay, they may burst, they may catch fire, and there may be loss of life and property. So products that are hazardous or can cause potential threat to human life These kinds of products are usually regulated or banned by the government. Not exactly banned, but the government places a restriction on the distribution of these products. Only authorized and licensed persons can sell crackers. Okay, even now that Diwali is approaching, you can see this in practical life. Anybody, any cracker shop that you go to, you can ask them for their license. They always have a license copy signed and authorized by the collectorate office. Okay, so there is a special office assigned to this kind of work. Alright, so nobody, not everybody gets the permission to sell crackers, and that is why government has been able to maintain the safety and security with the production and distribution of these crackers. Okay, so compatible with government regulations. Next point is cost of the project. The cost of the project is also very crucial. When we are trying to produce or set up a business, the cost is a very big factor in selecting and leaving a project. The cost of a project, the cost of production of a product has to be within the limits and available finances of the entrepreneur. If they are not within the limits of the available finances of the entrepreneur, he or she may not be able to set up the project. Okay, if I have 1 lakh rupees with me to set up the project, and the project that I am selecting requires a minimum, and I have a budget of 1 lakh or 10 lakh rupees, and I am trying to set up a BMW showroom, will I be ever be able to set up that project? No, because a BMW showroom, a single BMW alone requires more than 25-50 lakhs to purchase. Okay, so I cannot select a project that is out of my financial capabilities. Okay, so the cost of the project should be kept in mind while selecting the idea. Then risk in the project, there the risk has to be judged. Okay, there are products that offer you lesser risk and more profit. There are projects that offer you high risk and high profit. Okay, so people have to make sure that they have the capability and they have to calculate the amount of risk that they can take at the available level of finances and capabilities that they are operating in. Okay, next we move on to many more criteria can be added for assessing the profitability of an idea. It is necessary to analyze and compare the pros and cons of various factors. A selection matrix may be prepared for this purpose. So selection matrix we do not need to study. There are various techniques, mathematical techniques that have been designed in order to facilitate the selection of a project. Okay? Next we come to setting of goals. Once we have selected the best idea, we then start setting the goals or objectives. To keep their ventures alive and well, entrepreneurs must set goals before launching their venture. After choosing a profitable business idea, the entrepreneur must define goals. The key to convert an idea into venture is scattered over our efforts rather than concentrate them in setting goals. Concentrate them in setting goals. Entrepreneurs must decide what needs immediate attention and what needs long range planning. So basically here we are trying to emphasize on the importance of goals and objectives. Okay, once we have selected the business idea, we need to have the right objectives in mind. that what we need to do with the project, where we want to take the business, what do we need to achieve. Okay, there are short term goals, there are long term goals. Okay, so goals are the main objective of the organization. So earlier also when we were discussing some other topics, there also we discussed that objectives are the main play the main role, or yes, we were discussing about decision making and planning. We saw that the importance of objectives is very high, because according to the objectives we plan the business activities. Okay, so goals and objectives have to be planned and set very crucially, very attentively, so that the personal objectives of the entrepreneurs are met, as well as the business objectives of the organizations are also met. Okay, there has to be profit objective, there has to be a societal objective, an objective to reach fame, the global expansion objective. All these can be potential objectives. Okay, now setting of objectives also requires the emphasis on which or requires the entrepreneur to decide how much emphasis is required by which objective. Okay, what activity requires most attention right now, and what activity does not require the current attention. Okay, so in setting goals, entrepreneur must decide what needs immediate attention and what needs long range planning. Okay, next we come to, this was the first step, searching for a business idea. Okay, next no sorry the first step we saw was why we want to promote a venture. Okay, or why we want to become an entrepreneur. Second, we start searching for an idea. So under searching for an idea, we saw 3 points. One was sources of ideas, then planning, processing and selection of idea, and lastly setting of goals. Okay, next we come to next we come to preparing business plan. The entrepreneur should use, now business plan is what we have been discussing and calling a business proposal. Okay, this is the building blocks of an organization. A business stands over a business plan. Okay, so the first step of starting a business is to build a business plan. The entrepreneur should use business plan to develop a program that will carry him through the challenge of startup to success and profitability. What should be the business plan? What should a business plan cover? In fact, it should or services. Also, it should lay out the strategies, such vital areas as production, related to such vital areas as production and marketing, organization and legal aspects, accounting and finance. According to Nicholas, a business plan should answer such questions as these: what do I want and what am I capable of doing? Okay, so these are the things that should be covered in a business plan. What are the most workable ways of achieving my goals? What can I expect in the future? Business plans are versatile tools. Precise planning lies at the heart of every venture's future success. In many ways, a business plan resembles a roadmap telling entrepreneur how best to get from A to C. Planning involves decision making, that is deciding what to do, how to do it and when to do it. Okay, so next we come to the suggested steps in developing a business plan. So these are the steps that will further clarify what a business plan covers. Okay. So there is no single best way to begin the preparation of a business plan. Okay. So Sir Nicholas has suggested the following guidelines to develop a business plan that entrepreneurs can modify to suit their individual needs. Okay. So first is making the commitment. So making the commitment means making or taking the effort or convincing myself that I will be committed to this particular project. Analyzing oneself. I analyze myself. What are the things that are favorable from the point of view of starting a business or becoming an entrepreneur inside me? What are the qualities that will help me become an entrepreneur, and what are the qualities that I should change or alter or build in myself to become an entrepreneur? Okay, so analyze oneself. Next, choosing a product or service. Okay, so this is very important. According to my analysis of myself, my expertise, my specialization, my capabilities, my area of study, okay, all these things impact the selection of product or service. Okay, then researching markets. Once I have selected the product or service, it may be possible that I have certain few options in mind. So by researching the market around me or market related to those products, I can confirm or I can become sure of what product will sell best and what is the need of the market. Okay, so I need to study the market. Every business studies the market. Every business does market research. Without market research, it is not possible to build a productive and successful business. Okay. Next, forecasting sales revenues. So under a business plan, I have to provide the details of the sales revenues. How much cost I am going to incur, how much labor cost, how much raw material cost, how much electricity cost, all these things have to be mentioned in a business plan. And according to that, what will be the product price, and depending on the price, how quickly will I be able to reach my break-even point. Okay, so what is break-even point? Break-even point is a situation where the company faces no profit, no loss. Okay. Next, we come to after forecasting sales revenue, choosing a site. So where I want to set up my organization, where I want to set up my business, the initial steps, the factory, the plant, whatever, the office, whatever has to be set up, there has to be a site location to my business. Okay, so choosing a site. Then comes, all these points have to be mentioned in the business plan. Okay, so why we have chosen the site, what are the favorable and unfavorable points related to that location. Site means the location, the area. Developing a production plan, a marketing plan, an organizational plan, then legal plan, accounting plan, insurance plan, computer plan, okay, TQM program. TQM means total quality management, which means how am I going to ensure the quality of my product. There has to be steps or departments or persons engaged in the production process in order to maintain the quality of the product. Okay, then computer plan means the technical expertise areas. Who will look after that? Who will look after the insurance plan? Okay, insurance is a very crucial step because there may be accidents in the business. You may have seen in the news, if you have heard, there was a shop in Southern Market with the name of United Cycles and Motors, something like that. So it was a very old shop. I think I have seen that shop since I was a child, even before that it was there. So it was a shop of sports products. Okay, it provided, you could find every kind of sports equipment there, cycles, etc. Okay, that shop recently, I think a few days back, got fired due to a short circuit, and the entire stock was burnt to nothing. Okay, so if that person would have not been insured, it would have costed him a lot of money. Okay, because if any of you may have visited that shop sometime, you would have seen that the entire shop was so loaded with stock, with products, with material, that there was not room for even breathing inside. Okay, it was so claustrophobic. It was a huge shop, but it was packed with products. So thank goodness we had an insurance plan, so that it could be recovered. The loss could be recovered. Okay, accounting plan. What will be the accounting procedures that I will follow, and who will look after it? Okay, how will I look after or deal with the legal aspects of the organization? Okay, so all these things have to be planned. Then personnel plan. Personnel plan means how many people am I going to hire, what will be the salaries, what will be the qualifications, etc. etc. So basically here we are referring to the human resource planning. Okay, and financial plan. Writing a cover letter is the last thing. Once we have developed all these points, we finally write a cover letter. A cover letter is a letter in which we explain what we are intending to do with giving or submitting the following business plan. Okay, a cover letter is also submitted when you are applying for a job interview. Okay, you give your CV. You never give your CV alone. You should always have a cover letter accompanying it. Okay, on top comes the cover letter, and then after that is the CV or the resume that you have. Okay, in the cover letter we mention that our name, what our qualifications are, what our work experience is. Okay, and what we are looking towards. Okay, so all these points have to be covered when we are building or developing a business plan. All right, so today we'll stop here. And there are few points left, few stages left, so we'll cover that in the next class. All right, is there any doubt in what we have studied today?